Welcome back, folks. So in the last episode, I hinted that I found something interesting on this property. And we're going to go take a look at it, but we've had a fair amount of snow this winter, so it might be a little difficult to make out. I'm just dropping out some brackets for the lights in the workshop, and we'll have a project to work on after we go do our little exploring. But I want to do that before sunset. While the workshop warms up, let's go on our little hike. I'm gonna get really snowy here because I've only plowed and snowblowed so far back. Well, I've been out here a few times with the chainsaw, just cutting down these little saplings that are in the way of getting a vehicle or the tractor out here. And it's much harder work than I was expecting. That's partly because the chainsaw is pretty heavy. I definitely bought an oversized chainsaw for my needs. And partly because it's been snowing a lot. We've had 3 or 4 feet pretty consistently on the ground here in Danbury. And I'll be honest, that makes it tough to get around. It's really taxing, it's tiring. Even with snowshoes, this is a rough hike in this much snow. It's still fun though. It's just very slow. So, this is all still pieces of my property that I've been working on cleaning up. As we get a little bit further in, you can see some of the stuff that I've been uncovering. I think that's an RV stove. There are bits of RV siding over here. There's kind of just a lot of stuff that was dumped. And it's kind of par for the course with old farmland, old ranch land that hasn't been used very often. Down here we have some more. I know that under there are some snowmobile parts and more RV pieces. I think there's a big water tank down here somewhere. So I'm trying to be careful trudging through the snow too, because tripping over that stuff or falling onto it, some of it has sharp edges and it'd be pretty easy to hurt myself. So the thing that I found that's kind of cool is this mostly intact AMC Hornet body. It's just a body. It's missing pretty much all of the running gear. But it still has a bunch of interior, and I think this will be maybe a cool trials bike obstacle. This would be fun to ride over. It might even be a good ornament for the front lawn, to be honest. It's a cool, tough to identify car. It took me a while to find the badge saying that it's an AMC Hornet. An AMC just isn't known of today. Unless you're a hardcore Jeeper, you probably don't even recognize who AMC is. Sorry, old timers. Now, after I discovered that, I also started finding a few other parts that had been abandoned up here. And as far as I can tell, this whole pile under the branches and whatnot is pickup truck beds. At least, that's my running theory. It could be more snowmobiles. It could be a few different things. Let's see if we can get in there. So this, I don't know, this could be a door. I don't see where the hinge would be though. It could be a pickup bed. If it's a pickup bed and if it's intact, that might also be cool to pull out of here and I don't know, put on the lawn, make something out of, make into a garden bed. I don't really know yet. It's tough to tell when it's covered by 3 feet of snow too. But that's the general plan. The problem is I can't really carry that out, and I can't really drag it out when I can't get a vehicle back here. So I'm just going to have to keep coming in with the chainsaw and fumbling around, because I don't really know what I'm doing with a chainsaw. I'm just trying to be as safe as I can. And try to clear as much of this out as I can. There is one path that runs down along the bottom. So the car, the AMC is over there. The RV stuff that we just saw is over there. That first pile we saw is over there. Truck beds are over that way. I think there's a trail that runs down that way, but it's all been overgrown. And I don't know if I'll even be able to get the Jeep through there. So, right now, the plan is either clear a path for the Jeep or for the tractor, and whichever is more convenient to come out here and skid that stuff out, I'll use. The problem is, the tractor's not running right now. Doesn't look like it's run in several years. I know the engine's not seized, and I know the gearbox isn't seized, and I know the differential has been seized, but only because it had condensation in the oil, and that had frozen up into ice. And when you have ice in a gearbox, in every nook and cranny of the gearbox, that gearbox can't move. So all that is to say that unless I can get the tractor and or the Jeep back here, I can't start to move any of that stuff. So I need to come in with the chainsaw a bit more, clear out an entire path, maybe the path down there, maybe the path that I'm taking up here, and then decide which vehicle to pull all that detritus out with. Right now I'm leaning toward the tractor, just because I want to use it. The problem is, the tractor is not running yet. I've never seen it run. I got a good deal on it, but the starter wasn't installed, the carburetor was frozen up, and it had a few issues going on. So I guess the order of the day is to pop a new starter in there. And let's get back to the workshop and get started on that. One of my boot laces has broken, and that's really annoying. So I'm just going to replace them all. It may seem weird to you to focus on something so menial as changing boot laces, but really I've been putting that off for weeks, and you guys are my excuse to take care of those kind of everyday tasks. Now, one thing I'm not sure about is, why did new boot laces come with these sleeves, very small set screws, and a screwdriver? There are 4, so it must be 2 sleeves per lace, but whatever these are for, I need to get that starter motor into the tractor. So let's move on to that. Onto the tractor. The biggest problem that I know that I have right now is that the starter motor isn't in the tractor. And I can't get it into the tractor because this thick portion of the starter motor is extended, and there shouldn't be a gap between these two. Now, that's a part of normal operation. When this runs, it should open up, and that's what engages these splines on the flywheel. But then, once the flywheel's moving, it should spin it back Essentially, this is a ratcheting mechanism. This is an upgrade from the original starter motor, but because this one was extended, I tried running it manually, just connecting it to a battery, and this doesn't move at all. So my guess is that this starter motor is dead. So I ordered another, and it just arrived today. All right, great. So these are very, very similar, but this one is extended. I can't get it to go back. This one is retracted, and I'm not going to test run this, because if I test run it, that's going to extend this. It's a replacement for a Bendix mechanism. I'm not sure what this is actually called, but if I ratchet it or I try running it, it's going to open that up and I won't be able to get it into the tractor. Let's go over to the barn and see if I have enough light to even run the camera. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to rewire all the lighting out here, so we still have pretty typical barn lighting. In the workshop, I have a lot of lumens, so filming isn't going to be so bad out there. I think I'll still add some more, but the next project is definitely going to be to get some light in here. I figured I'm going to charge up the new battery that I got, just make sure it's topped off, because I have a feeling I'm going to be cranking this a fair amount in this project. When electronics get cold. We have a front loader on this 8M, and the front loader is the bucket on the front that goes up and down. Pretty much all modern tractors have them, but it was a novelty when this one came out. So it is completely in the way right now. Exactly, perfectly in the way. The other problem that we have is this hole is very small for a starter motor. It's already been carved out a bit, so this part that's been cut here, so that it's not actually circular, that's the traditional fix when you can't get the starter in. But that's just not enough when the Bendix, or whatever it's called, is extended. Completely appreciate that this isn't a very good view. But we'll see if we can squeeze this guy on through there. Oh yeah, no problem. With the Bendix in the right position, that slides in pretty easily. There was no way I could do that with the old starter motor. But I need to do a couple of things before I can actually mount this up. Okay, two operations. First, I need to take off this cardboard, and I need to take off these nuts, because these nuts are just holding it all together, and they're also the mounting nuts. They go into these two threaded holes. Okay, now comes the delicate part. If I let this fall apart as I install it, I have to reinstall all the brushes. I really, really don't want to do that. Alright, the plug goes on top. This thing's heavier than it seemed. And it keeps getting heavier. Oh. Oh, they sure don't make them like this anymore. And I can see why. Bless you, cat. No. Do not fall out. No. Come on, Bendix. Okay. Okay. That was almost disastrous. But let's try it again. Oh, my arms. Why is this so heavy? Yep. That's not bad at all. That's fine. That's just fine. That's all fine. It's definitely not too heavy. Nope, not too heavy at all. Come on, I just need that nut to fall off. Okay, got the nut off. Nope, we're not to the easy point yet. Come on. You can thread. Oh, okay. I think I have both bolts started. Oh, this would be a lot easier if I had a wrench. Maybe I should bring a wrench up from the workshop. So I don't know if I've already told you guys, but I picked up a couple of barn cats because we have about 32 million mice living in and around the house. And I've been killing a lot of them. But my hope was that the cats would kill some too. Yeah, they're not so interested in that. I've even been putting bird feed in the barn here, and birds are hopping around right in front of the cats, and they just don't care. Can't be bothered. It's too cold. I don't want to go get them. Well, this is the first part that I have added to the tractor rather than taking away. Yeah, these are actually awful. These are just awful tools. Okay, I've got cats going crazy. Well, all right. That was awful, but the results isn't too bad. I have a starter motor in there now. I've got to put the little teeny tiny solenoid on there, wire that up, figure out if it's 12 volt or 6 volt, and then deal with the fluids so I can start it. Try starting it. We'll see how that goes. But we'll do that in the next episode. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.